Hello guys, welcome back. So now, here in this session, I'll explain a topic called automatic payment program. Okay. So guys, it is an important topic of account payable automatic payment program. And generally, automatic payment program means it's pretty simple. What is the use of APP? First of all, I'll explain and we'll see the configuration part. Now, let me do one thing, guys. So I'll quote an example here. Say for example, there is a vendor. Any vendor guys, let's suppose ABC Limited. This vendor is having multiple open item. What is the open item now? You guys know very well. Open item means unpaid invoices. Right? When I say open item means unpaid invoices. So multiple unpaid invoices will be there guys because we know that procurement is a continuous process. Right? And it's not like that all the raw material cannot be procured at a time, in the sense like whatever they must be having that much storage capacity also. So what happened guys, in the sense like they'll every now and then they'll keep on placing the orders for the raw materials and all, it will keep on coming, isn't it? The production is there, that is also keep on going on, in the sense it's keep on running. So whatever procurement process is there, it is a continuous process, and of course multiple purchases are taking place and multiple invoices are also coming from vendor side. So let's suppose for one vendor, let's suppose this vendor is supplying several kind of raw materials, okay, to Tata Water. So always multiple invoices will be open. Okay. Every invoice will have, like say for example, so here, so whatever invoices are there, right? So it will be like the invoices are going to be due after some time. So let's suppose this invoice is not due. This is not due. This become overdue. This is overdue. Likewise again not due, overdue. Here this is called due and overdue and not due. So these are the status of invoices. Status of invoices. Okay. So these many invoices are there for a single vendor I am talking about. Now, so these are the status of invoices. So if we talk about this payment, vendor's payment. So right now, this invoice, and these all invoices. So it means 5 invoices are eligible for payment. 5 invoices are eligible for payment. So here what will happen guys? Now, so against one vendor we are having multiple open item, right? Out of these all open item, if we have to talk about manual payment, in the sense like let's suppose if we are doing manual payment, so for every vendor, one by one, we have to open the vendor report FB, what to say, L1N, right? By this you can check the vendor's open item reports. So if you talk about FBL1N, what is happening? You can see whatever the open items are there. Out of these all open item, how many open items are due? How many open items are overdue? How many open items are not due? It is pretty simple. Status we can check. So whichever overdue and due items are there, open items are there, those open items are eligible for payment. In the sense, we are supposed to make payment to the vendor. So manually, if you have to check, it is going to take around 2-3 minutes or 4 minutes. One by one you are going to check, okay, this invoice, this invoice, this invoice, this invoice. Every open item is going to represent one invoice, guys, right? Whatever, when I say open item, right, and line item, both are same. One open item equals to one line item. Okay, now so these all invoices are due or overdue. You have to make payment for these invoices. So what is happening till now? We know manual payment F 53. So we can post the payment, right? That is called manual payment. So here what is the drawback, guys? Manual payment means, let's suppose one by one. In the sense, here we have noted down certain invoices for this particular vendor, and those line items we are going to select, and those line items, for those line items the payments are going to be posted. But here the challenge is, let's suppose if Tata Motor is having 20,000 vendors, then what will happen? In a single vendor we are having these many line items. So for every vendors, multiple line items will be there, guys. Line item, I mean to say, when I talk about vendors, better to say open items only, right? Okay. Now, so for every vendor, multiple open items are there. In the sense, multiple unpaid invoices are there. Invoice got posted, but the payment is not posted yet, right? Now here, so this is the major challenge. So manually, if we are going to make the payment, in the sense manually, if we are going to post the payment, it will take too much time. So now here what is happening? We are having a setting called automatic payment program. What is the benefit of this automatic payment program, guys? Automatic payment program. First of all, we have to configure this automatic payment program, right? And then what is happening, guys? Okay. So after configurations, if you run this automatic payment program, then what is happening? If you run this automatic payment program, then this all. So this is what the benefit of automatic payment program means. Now whatever is being done manually, it can be done by SAP automatically. In the sense, if you have to search this open item, in the sense like due item, overdue items manually, it takes time. As I said, for one vendor, let's suppose if it is going to take even 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, first of all you have to check, okay, this invoice is eligible, this invoice is eligible, this, it may take some time. So what about 10,000 vendors or 20,000 vendors? One by one it is going to take too much time, right? So multiple resources they have to maintain for the payment posting, right? Now, so SAP is saying that no, we are having a program called automatic payment program. So if we run this automatic payment program, then whatever due and overdue items are there, that is going to be determined by system automatically. And SAP is going to select all this due and overdue items only for the payment. And that too, for multiple vendors, we can run this automatic payment program for multiple vendors at a time. You can run for 5,000 vendors, 10,000 vendors, 20,000 vendors, right? So the payment can be posted for every vendor in one go. In the sense, in few minutes it's going to be posted. Or else, if you talk about for one user, I don't think that one single user is going to post these all payments even in a month also, because huge number of vendors are there. And this is, I'm talking about like simple scenario, right? In that, certain other criteria also can be added. Other criteria in the sense, like, let's suppose grace period, right? Grace period means what will happen? Vendor is saying that, let's suppose vendor is going to give certain grace period, let's suppose of 7 days. Okay, 7 days. In the sense, vendor is saying that we'll do one thing: when any invoices are going to be due or overdue, right? So vendor will give additional 7 days to Tata Motor for making payments, right? So what happened, guys? Generally, whichever the companies are there, right? So those companies always they prefer to make the payment on last moment, in the sense like it become due, right? But still we are having 7 days. So it depends upon the companies, right? Whether they want to select this invoices or exactly on due date, or they want to utilize this grace period also. We will release payment at the end moment only, isn't it? So if these 7 days are also going to be added, due item means what, guys? It become, if I say it become due, it means it become due in current date, today's date. And tomorrow what is happening? Even these line item is also, this open item is also going to be treated as overdue item. It means due date means current date, right? Let's suppose it was posted on, say for example, previous month, say for example, 10th of September. So now today is 10th of October. So it become due today, right? 30 days, let's suppose 30 days payment, 30 days payment terms we are using. And 11th of October, what will happen? 11th of October, this is going to be due, this is going to be treated as a overdue item, right? By a margin of certain days. Let's suppose this become overdue by a margin of 8 days. This become overdue by a margin of 5 days. This is 10 days. This is due means 0 days. No overdue, right? And this is 3 days. Okay. So these all invoices become overdue by a margin of certain days. Now, if we are going to add this grace period also, in that case, what will happen, guys? In that case, only this line item and this line item is eligible for payment, because vendor has given grace period, and even that is also going to be utilized by company. So now, even though this become overdue, this become overdue, and this become due, but still we are having certain time. to make the payment. So here what is happening? These are going to be, again, this is not going to be selected. Simply these two line items are going to be selected. So now here, if we have to add grace period also, then it is going to be more critical. Critical in the sense like, if you see the open item, SAP is going to show these status. Now I said like these are the 5 invoices. This become due or overdue. So again, people have to add this grace period manually, and then they have to calculate whether it is eligible for payment or not. So for that, they have to check one by one every vendor manually, and it is going to take, like, let's suppose multiple line items are there. So first of all, they have to select all these overdue items. And in those overdue items, once again, they have to calculate one by one that, okay, which one is like already crossed this 7 days also. For those line items, the payments are going to be made. If certain line items or certain open items, which is still, it is overdue, but by a margin of 2 days only, 3 days only, 4 days only, 7 days not crossed. It hasn't crossed 7 days. So they will not make payment, let's suppose. So in that case, it is for single vendor, it is going to take 5 minutes, 10 minutes to do this analysis, right? But if they are going to run this automatic payment program, then even these calculations are also going to be done by SAP automatically. In the sense, grace period is also can be calculated by system automatically, right? So that's what I'm saying, that automatic payment program means generally this is going to reduce the workload. If you talk about invoice postings, right? Okay. So if for invoice posting, what is happening, guys? For invoice posting, generally, this is, if you post the invoice, it is in the sense like that is going to be, okay. Now here, what is happening, I'll tell you. If you talk about this payment posting, so for payment posting, what is happening, guys? What is the input for payment? First of all, input means open item must be available. In the sense, invoices must be posted. So invoice is already available, guys. Invoice we have posted. So open items are there. So now what is happening? If you run this automatic payment program, then inputs are already available. Open items are already available. Now what is happening? Based on your APP configurations, based on our APP configuration, SAP is going to determine this due or overdue item automatically, or eligible open item for the payments automatically is going to be selected by system. What about invoices? Invoice means we must have to maintain multiple resources to post the invoices, right? Invoice posting means, first of all, generally what happen, guys, for invoice posting, you don't have like any standard configurations like APP. It's not like that once you upload multiple invoices, automatically it is going to be posted, right? Certain tools are there, certain devices are there which can like make the users life bit easy, in the sense like, let's suppose invoice soft copy is available, so you can, PDF form is available, let's suppose. So even there'll be certain devices by which, even if certain text is there on PDF, if you want to copy, you can copy. Invoice number is there, if you want to copy, you can copy this things and all. So this is a different thing. But for invoice posting, they must have to maintain a huge number of team. That is why if you see in account payable team, I think whatever the size of account payable team is there, guys, half of the people, most likely I can say half of the people will involve in this invoice posting only. A big size, right? And then again, certain people are going to be maintained as help desk executive. Whatever payment related, invoice related, if any disputes are there, these people are going to settle those disputes, right? Okay. And if you talk about for payment posting, very less number of people are required. Why? Because of this APP functionality, automatic payment program functionality. Okay, so we'll see these configurations, guys. Okay, we'll configure this automatic payment program and then we'll run this automatic payment program also. Now I'll come back on PPT. Here, look at here, automatic payment program. It is used to post account payable like payment to vendor based on vendor invoices automatically. So invoice must be available, guys, right? Now, it is used to find out due and overdue invoices and to process a list of vendors' invoices to make payment in one go. APP even it can be used for customer payment posting also, guys, but generally what happen in real time, because for customers certain challenges will be there, isn't it? So that is why APP is going to use for vendors payment posting only. Here people will feel more comfortable, and that is why automatic payment program always it is going to be kept under account payable process only, in the sense if you talk about the course contents. So mostly everybody's are going to keep this automatic payment program topic under account payable segment only. Okay, now so multiple vendors invoices can be processed in one go. Now, so certain configuration steps are there, guys. Those configuration steps, first of all we have to configure. Look at here, these all things will come into picture. We'll see one by one. We'll configure this automatic payment program and then we'll run this automatic payment program also. Now, so let me log in. Configuration steps are easy, guys, don't worry. The thing is like you need to know the logic. Go to FBZP transaction code. This is very famous T code, guys. FBZP. Okay, so better to remember this. Now, again, before going for these configurations, now if you have to configure automatic payment program, so what is the prerequisites for APP? If anybody asks what is the prerequisites for APP, in the sense like let's suppose if you have to do configurations for automatic payment program, so what are the minimum settings which must be available here into SAP? So once again, this is pretty simple, guys. First of all, enterprise structure, this must be there. Second thing is basic setting must be available. Third thing is GL settings must be there. And fourth one is AP basic setting must be there, right? See, no matter whichever configurations are there, guys, for those configurations, these settings must be there. In the sense, at least enterprise structure, and if you have to post a JV, so for that, enterprise structure, basic setting, and GL setting. These three settings must be there, then only you can post a general vouchers, right? So no matter whichever settings are there, guys, first of all, these three you must have to keep. And then after, based on the scenario situations, AP basic setting, AR basic settings, right? Or else asset related, asset accounting, asset management settings or configurations based on the situation, those things are going to be added. But you must have to assume. And when you practice, let's suppose if you're going to practice automatic payment program. So you think like, what is the minimum settings? What is the minimum configurations are required into SAP? Now you came to know that these are the settings required. So if these are the settings required, then the best way to practice is like, let's suppose you have to do configurations for automatic payment program. I would suggest you to set up a new company code and do all these minimum settings. Whatever the minimum settings are there, you configure all these minimum settings and then configure automatic payment program. Okay, so now I'll tell you guys, if you know these minimum settings transaction code, I'm telling you guys, if you know that, I'm not saying that you have to mug up all the T codes, but these are all the transaction code. Let's suppose, what are the T codes? Very simple, guys. First of all, so give me a second. First of all, mandatory settings only, right? So creation of company and company code. Creation of company is not a mandatory setting, you can skip. So here, create company code. So OX02, that you need to remember. Okay. What next, guys? Creation of business area. Again, it's not a mandatory setting. It's optional. You can skip. So simply we have created company code. That's it. In enterprise structure, single. Now come to basic setting. So second one is, let's suppose, create posting period variant. So OB BO and assign posting period variant to company code. So OB BP, right? Likewise, create fiscal year variant. So OB 29. Now this time what is happening? If you have created a fiscal year variant already, so if you have to set up a new fiscal year variant, you can copy the any existing one. No need to create one once again, or else if you are going to set up, it's okay. If you set up, it's okay. Why? Because you will be able to remember the fields. You are going to be familiar with the fields, right? Fields and screens also. Okay. Create fiscal year variant, then assign fiscal year variant to company code. OB37. Remember this T code, guys. And this is my suggestions so that you guys will be like, let's suppose if server got formatted, SAP server, it's online server, guys. Even in real time also, whatever the quality servers are there, that is every after 1 month or 2 months or 3 months, those things are going to be formatted. Now here, let's suppose, so whatever the practice server is there, guys, it is having limited space, right? And in a single server, multiple people are doing practice. So in that case, maybe every quarter or every after 4 months or 5 months or 6 months, SAP server is going to be formatted. So let's suppose next month, if the server owner has formatted this SAP server, so entire settings, entire configurations are gone. Only standard settings will be there. Standard setting, I mean to say, if we talk about document type, if you have created any document types, those are going to be deleted. Whatever delivered by SAP standard document type, that will be as it is. Certain company code which is delivered by SAP, that is called standard setting. So those company code will be as it is. Let's suppose total 500 company codes are created by different candidates. And out of 500, let's suppose 35 standard company code which is delivered by SAP. When the SAP is what is called standard setting, guys, when the SAP is going to be, let's suppose, installed, when the SAP server is going to be installed, by whom? By basis consultant, right? Basis consultant. So when the SAP server is going to be installed, so at the time of installation, certain predefined company codes will be delivered by SAP. 30, 35, let's suppose company codes are there. Certain configurations will be already available into SAP, like document type, multiple fiscal year variant will be there, multiple predefined posting period variant also will be there, right? Likewise, certain settings will be already available into SAP. Why? What for? Because it is going to make your work easy. Let's suppose fiscal year variant. If you have to use April to March, or July to June, or October to September, for that, already certain posting period variants are set up by SAP and it is delivered by SAP. So instead of creating a new from beginning, right, I have created and I'm telling you people also to do this because you have to learn this. But in real time, what happened? Simply we are going to copy a fiscal year variant. So what is happening? Within few seconds, we can set up this fiscal year variant, right? Because we have to copy only, right? So certain standard settings will be there. So those settings only will be there, guys. Remaining all the settings, all your configurations and all the configurations for everybody will be gone now. So in that case, if you know this, what are the minimum settings are required, then it's a matter of 20 minutes or 15 minutes, guys. You can do all the settings. Whatever the major settings are required, you can do, and then after that, you can proceed further. Isn't it? Or else, like I have seen multiple people, they started trying, sir, my configurations are gone. I have already done these many configurations, and that too, it has taken 3 months, right? So this is not going to make you a smart consultant. Whatever configurations has been done in 3 months, guys, it will take hardly 15-20 minutes to cover to configure those things and all. At least, let's suppose you have done the setting for APP, right? So first of all, you think like, okay, it's gone, it's okay. So what are the minimum settings I have to do? So these all settings. Okay, let me do it. 15-20 minutes it's going to take. You can done these settings and easily. Then you can proceed further for APP settings, right? So your configurations, again, within half an hour, what is happening? It will be as it is into SAP, right? So here, assign fiscal year variant, as I said. Likewise, what is happening, guys? Then you'll be having tolerance group, right? Create tolerance group for employee, that is OB, OBA4, and create tolerance group for GL also will be there, guys. That is OBA0, right? Then create number range, FB, N1. Remember these many settings minimum, guys, right? Then we are having field status variant. Okay, define or create field status variant, that is OBC4. You must be able to remember. Assign field status variant to company code, that is OBC5. So here whatever your basic setting is there, that is completed. Now what next, guys? GL setting. How much time it is going to take? Maybe 5 minutes. You can complete it, right? Now GL setting means, first of all, you have to define chart of account, OB routine, assign chart of account to company code OB62, and then let me down, guys. Okay, so now assign chart of account, then just do one thing, define account group OB D4, and then create a written earning account. You have to set up this written earning account OB 53. These are the minimum settings you have to do, and then create GL account. Create few GL. Few GLs. F is 00, right? Okay. Then you can post certain transactions, guys, and then simple AP basic setting. AP basic setting means what is happening, guys? AP basic setting means create vendor account group, that is OB D3. Simple. Create number range XK N1. Okay. Create recon account, reconciliation account, FS00. That setting already we have done. And if you have created here itself, if you have created this recon account here itself, then no need to add this step, right? Create recon account and then create a vendor account guide XK01 and post the vendor invoice, right? So look at here. How many T codes, guys? These are the transaction code, right? These many T codes must be there in the list of, in the sense at, must be there at the tip of your tongue. You have to note it down somewhere on a particular page, right? Keep in your pocket. Wherever you are, just have a look on this and follow the sequence itself, right? I'll tell you guys, correct sequence is also required. You must follow a correct sequence, then your work is going to be quite easy. What I have observed, like most likely, whichever this institutions are there, I have seen like sometime, like, because multiple batches are there. Initially they are going to start like one batch, after 15 days another batch, after 30 days another batch, and ultimately what will happen, after few days they are going to merge all the batches. Okay, in one batch they have covered, like, let's suppose AP, another batch they are in GL setting only, and another batch they are going to start account receivable, which was started earlier. So what is happening, like, they are going to start account receivable. So whatever these batches are there, they are going to club together, and account receivable they are going to teach. For some people, what is happening, after GL settings, or all of a sudden account receivable started, or all of a sudden asset accounting started, right? So it's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, and after that they are saying that 51 52 53 54. Once that is done, then 21 22. This is not the correct sequence. This is why the people are going to be confused. So these many settings, at least I'm expecting you people that you must be able to remember, and whenever you do this APP configurations, you can set up your company code and then perform this APP configurations. Okay, now I'll come back on this configurations here. FBZP is the transaction code for APP configurations. Click here one by one. These all are different steps, guys. Total 6 steps are there. Keep in your mind what are the steps involved. in APP configurations. So these are the steps. Okay. Sometime I have seen like people have asked these kind of questions like, okay, what are the overall steps involved in APP configurations, right? So all company code, paying company code, payment method in country, payment method in company code, bank determinations, and house bank setup, right? In every settings, in every step, we have to do certain configurations. Like let's suppose all company code. Click here. Click on new entry. Okay. So here, let's suppose I'm going to give company code. Whatever new company code you have defined, you can give this, or else old company code, whichever you want to use. Okay, I'll tell you guys, when you are going to do the configurations, in every configurations, multiple steps will be there, multiple fields are there, several fields will be there, right? It's not like that each and every fields are going to be explained, because there are multiple country specific settings, right? There are several fields. Even I also don't know the logic behind those fields, because I couldn't get any such kind of requirement, or else I couldn't get any opportunity to work on that particular country's project, right? So whichever standard things which is going to be used, that I'm going to explain, so that it is going to make your life easy when you guys become consultant. Okay. So first of all, look at here. We are having sending company code and paying company code. See, I'll explain this logic theoretically here. Say for example, we are having, so Tata Motor, TM22, Tata Steel, TS22, Tata Chemical, TC22, right? Likewise, Tata Hotel Group. Okay. Likewise, even multiple company codes are there. So say for example, if Tata Motors says that, see, these all are separate entity, subsidiary. So this whatever like invoices, in the sense like Tata Steel, of course, multiple procurements are going to be done by Tata Steel from vendors. So Tata Steel also will be having multiple open items. Tata Chemical also going to procure multiple raw materials. So Tata Chemicals also will be having several open items, in the sense they have to make payment to the vendors. So here what happened? Let's suppose Tata Group is saying that whichever the vendor invoices are there for Tata Steel, Tata Chemical, Tata Hotel Group, for these all subsidiaries, vendors, payments are going to be made by Tata Motor. It's a very rare scenario, guys, generally, because it is having lots of criticalities in order to prepare this financial statement. That is why I said it is very rare, what to say, you know, requirement, and very rarely it is going to be used. Very rarely it is going to be used. But still, it has given by SAP, so that's I'm just quoting one example, so that at least you guys can see. You'll be having some idea about this. No. So on behalf of other company code, what is happening? Tata Motor is going to make payment, right? So in that case, Tata Motor is called paying company code, and these all company codes are called sending. Okay. These all are sending company. Tata Motor is making payment on behalf of other subsidiary, right? So Tata Motor is called as a paying company code, and remaining all company codes are called sending company code. Okay. No need to do this configuration, guys. Don't give anything here in sending company code. Just give you paying company code. So for this one, TM22 only. Okay. Now, separate payment per business area. So here very simple logic is there. No need to apply the check mark over this. Let's suppose these are all, let's suppose these many, these, let's suppose these two line items are eligible for payment. Okay. This is posted for business area A and this is posted for business area B. So if you apply a check mark on that checkbox, separate payment for business area, multiple people are confused over there, right? So I'll tell you very simple, what is say logic is there. So if you apply a check mark on payment per business area, then in that case what is happening? When you run this automatic payment program, then SAP is going to keep these two, that the payment are going to be posted separately for this line item and separately for this line item. Or else, generally, if APP is going to run, then what is happening? Let's suppose bank account, first of all, vendor account is going to be debited with 4,500. Bank account is going to be credited 4,500. Now, because both line items has been clubbed together by SAP, right? Now, so here what is happening, guys? If you apply a check mark over there, so for this one, a different line item will be generated, right? In the sense for 2001 and 2500, again separate line item. This is what the logic. Okay. No need to apply a check mark here. Apart from this, tolerance days for payable. What is the logic behind this tolerance days for payable, guys? So I told you, when you talk about grace period, if you have to give a grace period, then what is happening? You can specify over there 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, that can be specified here. Okay. Now, okay, this what to say, this is called like vendor and customer. So this is if you have to make the down payment and that too through APP, automatic payment program, then you have to specify the special deal indicator here. Okay. Now, so keep it blank, guys. Simply just save it. Come back. Come back here. Now click on paying company code. Click on inventory. So paying company code, just give your company code here. Minimum amount for incoming payment and minimum amount for outgoing payment. Okay. Now, let's suppose I'm going to give a minimum amount. Okay. Now here what is happening? I'll tell you guys. When we run this automatic payment program and you found that certain, say for example, a very small worth of amount is open, maybe of 500, because certain, let's suppose a residual payment is there, a very small amount, that is only is only one line item is there, right? Worth of $1,000 or 1,000 rupees, right? Or 2,000 rupees. So for a small amount, for such kind of small amount, why do run automatic payment program? It can be posted manually also, right? But generally, if you talk about in real time, guys, of course, the thing is like multiple open items are there. Thousands of several thousands open items will be there, right? So out of which every time what will happen, whenever you run this automatic payment program, every time you will be having certain overdue or due items will be there. But still, generally here we can specify a minimum amount for outgoing payment. Generally for outgoing itself, incoming outgoing option is given by SAP, because I told you that by running this automatic payment program, even customer invoices also can be, we can post the payment for customer invoices also. That is why incoming and outgoing both has been given by SAP. So SAP says, but generally the use of APP means, when I say like what is the use of APP, the first thing comes in the mind of every user if somebody has worked as an end user in real time. So only vendor will come into their mind, because vendor payment itself is going to be run by automatic payment program. Okay, so now here what is happening, guys? So minimum amount for incoming, minimum amount for outgoing, we are going to specify a small amount. And what is the logic behind this? In the sense, like, let's suppose if I specify here, let's suppose 1000. So if you run this APP, okay, if you run this automatic payment program, and if any open item is there, or overall whatever open items are there, it is worth than less than 1000 rupees, or equal or less than 1000 rupees, then what is happening? System is not going to select any line item for payment posting. Then we have to we can post this payment manually also, right? Or is, if the overall open item is going to cross this, then only SAP is going to show you that open item for payment posting through APP. That is the logic. Simply just save it, control this. Sometime what happen, guys, when you are going to do this setting, right? So you have not given any amount. Here what happens, sometime the currency will be different initially. Okay, so in that case, simply you have to give your amount, and if you press enter, then automatically your company code currency will be visible. So no need to worry about it, right? No need to do anything else here. Just save it, click on back button, click on payment method in country. Now, what is the use of this payment method? Okay, so guys, payment method, in the sense, how many steps are there, guys? So payment method in country, payment method in company code, bank detail, business, hospital. Okay, behind every setting, certain logics are there, guys. So I'll just do one thing then. This payment method in country. So whatever these 4 steps are there, that I'll explain in next session, guys. I'll stop the session here itself. These 2 I have configured, and remaining 4 I'm going to cover in next session. Okay, payment method in country, I'll just give a small brief explanations, guys. Generally, when you make a payment, right? So what is happening? Now here multiple, like, let's suppose line items are there. So certain, like, how you have made the payment, through check or through online transfer, right? So generally what will happen, say for example there is a vendor, and that vendor, like, already the grace period is over, and we have already made the payment for that vendor. Now the vendor is coming back to help desk team, saying that my so and so invoice number is there, for that I haven't received any payment as of now, please let us know the status. So help desk team, they are going to check this T code, and they will check that invoice. They found that this invoice is not, no more open item, it is already, the payment is already posted. So if payment is already posted, it means payment is already made to the vendor. So they will check. They will check, like, okay, what is the payment method, right? They'll check the payment method, and they found the payment method is showing C. C means check. Check payment method. Okay, then they will come to know. Okay, it was like this payment was posted yesterday itself, and since it is check payment method, so the check is already courier to the vendor. It may take 5 working days, or as per their procedure, vendor has to wait for 5 or 6 or 7 working days, right? They'll receive the check. So simply they are going to inform. So this is what the benefit of payment method, guys. Okay, of course it is having certain controls also. So this is what the use of payment method, in the sense like payment method, I mean to say how the payment has been made, whether it is through check or through online transfer. Okay, so we'll see this payment method and whatever remaining configurations are there, we'll see in next session, and we'll run this automatic payment program. I'll show you guys how to run this AVP and all, how it is going to select multiple invoices in one go. Right, we'll see in next session.